The dumbest movie mistakes! I was absolutely blown away by these bloopers while making this video. Now it's your turn. Let's check them out. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. In the sequel to Philosopher's Stone, the rivalry between Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy gets even more intense. Their conflict explodes into a full-on duel during a class, with several professors and students watching. And apparently, a cameraman too? Right after Harry attacks and Malfoy falls near Professor Snape, if you look closely at the left side of the screen, you can briefly spot a man holding what looks like a camera. So what is this? A muggle who snuck into Hogwarts undercover to gather proof that magic exists? Or did the filmmakers simply forget to crop out a crew member from the final cut? Either way, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Pirates of the Caribbean. We see the very first appearance of the main character on screen, and there's already a mistake. Remember Captain Jack Sparrow's iconic arrival in Port Royal? That legendary entrance where he sails in on a sinking boat like an absolute genius? The moment was so cool that almost nobody noticed what happens next. Watch closely. He's clearly preparing to step onto the dock with his right foot, but in the very next shot, he somehow steps down with his left. So what happened there? Did Jack bend the laws of physics before even leaving the harbor? But wait, it gets better. Let's jump to the final installment. Jack stands at the helm of his ship, surrounded by his loyal crew of hardened pirates. Everything looks perfectly cinematic until you look a little closer, because right there in the background you can spot a guy in a white t-shirt and modern sunglasses. Yes, sunglasses. In the 1700s, is Captain Sparrow aware there's a time-traveling tourist casually sunbathing on his ship? Or did someone from the film crew forget to step out of frame before the cameras rolled? Either way, once you see it, you'll never watch that scene the same way again. Jurassic Park. In the famous kitchen scene, when the velociraptor stalks the kids hiding between the counters, there's a strange and honestly hilarious moment. Look closely at the raptor's tail. At one point, you can clearly see what looks like a human hand touching it. Yes, someone appears to grab the dinosaur's backside. Brave, reckless, or just a crew member accidentally caught in frame while operating the animatronic? Either way, imagine risking your arm for that shot. Gladiator. During Maximus's fight in the arena, you can spot a reporter with a video camera among the regular spectators. Looks like he's broadcasting the battle live on ancient Roman TV. Also, it turns out that in hot weather, people came to the stands with 1.5-liter bottles of water. Pretty practical, honestly. And at the end of the movie, when a mortally wounded Maximus falls to the ground, you can see his head resting comfortably on a little sand pillow. Talk about dying in comfort. But honestly, it's not surprising that Maximus eventually dies. He had terrible blood clotting. You can notice it early in the film when he's injured in the shoulder by a soldier in Germany, and now he's in Spain, and the wound is still bleeding. Keep in mind, it would take at least a month to travel from Germany to Spain on horseback. And the absolute top blooper in the film? The overturned cart that clearly shows stunt equipment, some cylinders and tubes. And you couldn't miss it because it fell right in front of the camera, not in the background. Ancient Roman nitrous oxide, perhaps? Braveheart. In one of the epic battle scenes, as the enemy army charges forward, something very unexpected appears in the background. A modern car. Yes, a car, clearly visible behind the warriors. Pretty impressive, considering this is 13th century Scotland. Either they were centuries ahead of their time, or someone forgot to clear the set. Maybe Mel Gibson just prefers parking close to work. But that's not the only time traveler in this movie. Apparently, medieval Scotland was also big on baseball caps. In one shot among the crowd, you can briefly spot a man wearing what looks like a modern cap. Timeless fashion, I guess. 1,000 years strong. And here's another wild continuity error. In one scene, the main character runs into battle, and his right hand is completely empty. Cut to the next shot, and suddenly he's holding a sword. That's some next-level instant weapon spawn. Fantastic beasts and where to find them. Apparently, this movie isn't just full of fantastic creatures, it's also full of some pretty fantastic mistakes. Take the bank scene, where Jacob Kowalski brings in a suitcase full of pastries to show the banker. Notice the donuts and cupcakes in the corner. During shot changes, they managed to move positions several times. Or, was Jacob sneaking a bite while the camera wasn't on him? And what about the house scene? Everyone's just been enjoying their meal, but the moment Newt gets up from the table, all the plates magically disappear. Sure, maybe it's just some household magic, but what if everyone else hasn't finished eating yet? Avengers, Endgame, the final battle scene. You won't believe it, but even here, there's a crazy blooper. Did you spot it? I'm talking about seeing two Scott Langs in two different places at the same time. One is sitting in the car, fixing a stove, while the other is shoulder to shoulder fighting alongside the heroes. Or maybe one of them just peeked in from another universe? Or perhaps, during post-production, they forgot about Ant-Man in the van and added a second one for a cooler battle shot. Is this a genuine editing mistake, or just a clever scene mashup? Titanic. What are the chances a blooper sneaks into one of the most iconic scenes in film history? Yes, we're talking about the famous bow scene. Before Jack and Rose strike their legendary pose, Jack is already seen standing at the same spot earlier in the movie, watching dolphins. Even the camera angles look similar, but here's the thing, the bow looks different. Come on, it's the same ship. Even a massive vessel like the Titanic couldn't have two separate bows, one for dolphins, another for romance. North by Northwest. Now, let's talk about North by Northwest. The classic spy thriller full of twists, a stunning lady, chases, explosions, and all the adventure you'd expect. During the cafeteria scene on Mount Rushmore, near the film's climax, pay close attention. While the two main characters have their tense conversation, the background extras are doing what extras do, being, well, extras. But look at the boy in the background. He seems to have a sixth sense, because just before a gunshot goes off, he instinctively covers his ears. Coincidence? Or maybe he's one of the X-Men. Django Unchained. Now, Django Unchained, one of Quentin Tarantino's most talked about and controversial films. The movie has been criticized and laughed at for taking historical liberties. For example, the main character spends most of the film wearing sunglasses, but the first pair wasn't sold in the United States until 1929, while the story takes place in 1858. Also, dynamite is used in several scenes, a chemical that wasn't invented yet. But hey, that's Tarantino. Not a blooper, just his style. And that's all for today. Don't forget to hit subscribe.